Rod Russell, I want to real quick introduce, you brought a beautiful lady friend with you, Evelyn, is it Grime? Evelyn Grime?
It is.
Let's give Evelyn a big hand too. All right, Rod, I got a big picture on the back of my wall here. Yes. I've got notes here, New Hope Habitats. And I know you have worked on projects for Haiti. I think you've probably worked on some projects here locally in the States for when there are catastrophes.
Correct.
So what is New Hope Habitats? And then we'll get into your picture. And what is it you're working on that we need to know?
Well, to talk about it accurately, really kind of have to go back to where it started. And I've been working on this for about 13 years.
I knew it was a project you've been working on.
Yeah, and it started out of a real desire to build efficient homes. And that started because back over the past 27 years, I've been a builder and designer for 27 years, and I've built huge mansions for people that are wasteful, and I think we're seeing some of the results of that in our society today when, you know, you get out of college and you think you can buy a 7,000 square foot home that has a $800 a month heating bill, and guess what? Eventually that, you know, is going to come back and bite you in the butt. And we're seeing the results of that in our society right now. And my work in that field and being involved in alternative building methods really led me to try to create the most efficient building footprint I could with the smallest plumbing footprint. And I started with plumbing because just the expense of it. And as I worked on that, we eventually got it down into all the plumbing in our houses that we design right now fit in an 8-foot diameter. So you can stand with a yardstick and spin around in a circle, and all the plumbing in the entire house fits in that circle. As we were working on those designs, we quickly realized that that same design would also be very proficient in disaster response, emergency response, in a FEMA type situation or a Haiti type situation.
So while you were building and working on these structures with alternative ways, this is when catastrophes, which we always have going on, and it kind of was more inspirational for you?
Yeah, and you know, we're at the point where
we're a lot right now.
FEMA, it's 5-year anniversary for FEMA.
Which is what made me,
for Katrina.
When you and I were talking the other day, you know, and I do, Rod, we have a lot of things we talk about on different occasions about stuff going on that is very humanitarian.
Yes.
And I know this has been a big project for you, and I really, you know, while we have this little bit of time, I want you to show them this and break it down and explain why we need this. Well, I heard you talking to my audience before the show. Women and men were asking you questions about like fires and how does this structure help for, like, because it's for catastrophes, right? Emergencies.
Yes, any kind of emergency.
Many building applications. I think the idea is that you start with the core essentials that go into a structure or a home or a shelter, and if that comes packaged, then anything affordable, rural design, you know, whether you're responding to someone offshore in a Haiti situation or someone locally after a fire, or even during fire protection, to go back to the comment in the audience, you know, the point is it comes ready to go, and it's adaptable to so many things.
Can you show them real quick? Because I don't know if everyone understands what we're talking about. It's like, well, you know, because I wouldn't. I'll be honest with you. If I was sitting at home right now, I wouldn't know what the hell we were talking about, okay?
Right.
But I know you, so I know what we're talking about.
To boil it down in the time that we have remaining, we call this the NNL core. It stands for now, next, and later. What it is basically, it's the center part of a house.
Okay.
We call
Can you guys see that?
We call it utilities integral, okay? Because in this core right here, basically the bathroom, the electric panels, everything that's the core of the house. So, and we do something that's very different than typical fabric structures because this is inverted, so we gather the rain and it's used to flush out the sanitation, which is part of the problem in disasters is the sanitation and the diseases. Well, we've reversed that process and we use the rain for our good, okay? And this is just a cutaway of the disaster response part of this project. So this is the now in case of a disaster.
So if there's a catastrophe, instead of the structures we have now, which are
flimsy tents or tarps or
Or,
blankets. I mean,
that
trailers.
or
Or
trailers
trailers.
that aren't reusable, and this structure can be all the material in it. It's the emergency structure, right?
It
This is the
rapidly
emergency
deploys.
structure right here, which also gets reused. But this core right here,
instead of having a $75,000 FEMA trailer that gets thrown away or basically auctioned off for $1,000 after the emergency, and then we still have a huge inventory of those, this is reused to build a house.
So that
It's
structure.
perfect. Look at everything gets reused.
It stays where it is.
We have a kind of a grant that's on a website called Kickstarter.com, www.kickstarter.com, and that's, by the time this show airs, that will have launched.
Okay.
And it's for people to contribute to be a part of building the first prototype of this project right here. And that project is actually going to be a field hospital. The first one that we build is going to be a field hospital.
Is our goal to be a
That's your goal.
field or a medic response.
So what do we want to get to the people right now? What is it you need to ask them, Rod? What do you need to help
Just to
get
log
this
into our
launched?
site, and that's newhopehabitats.com, and get involved. And my question to everybody is basically, what if it was you? What if this disaster was your home, and you suddenly don't have a roof over your head, and you don't have food and water and
And it
clothing?
can happen.
And it happens like that. And it's time to quit responding to every emergency as if it's the first one that ever happened.
Right.
What we did is we very scientifically, and I even wrote a white paper on this, and as a team, we've put this together to address all the standard components of an emergency and address them through this kind of core.
Right.
So
This rapidly deploys. I mean, in 4 hours, essentially, you've got shelter again with the components
Those
that you're
can be
used
put
to.
together and put up in 4 hours?
Yes.
Come out of a
Once we
shipping
get
container
them
and they deploy.
out there.
Right.
Wow.
yeah, it expands two ways coming out of the shipping container, so it's rapidly deployable, adaptable, and
Adaptable.
sustainable.
And no wasted materials. And if it's a residential home, plug and play sustainable. Build it any way you want.
I wish I could continue. I'm going to have Rod, I want you on again. Evelyn, I'm going to have you on again. I
Happy
love that you're
anytime.
putting little
Thank
bits
you.
in there with us.